Conversations that lead to sex. I have been asked as of last night, what about dirty talk? I hear that talking dirty to girls helps you on a date to escalate and you're more likely to end up in the bedroom. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to give you my overall philosophy on what things you can say, what you probably shouldn't say, how you should go about conversations that lead to sex. And I've seen quite a few videos of these online, and I think most of it is far too obvious. It's like, oh, say this is what you should say, without giving you guys the full overview philosophy on how this really should be run. From my point of view anyway, everyone has their own opinion on how a conversation should go that would escalate and dirty talk and lead to the bedroom. I'm going to give you my philosophy, but before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. If you want some one-on-one coaching with me, top link in the description where we can get on with that as soon as possible. So, dirty talk, conversations that lead to sex, how to escalate on a date verbally so that it goes to the bedroom and runs smoothly. Well, to start with, we need to wind back to how you first met her in the very, very beginning. And my philosophy is indirect, as I've said many times in the past. You start indirect and you slowly heat it up. You slowly escalate all the tension. You start slow, you start warm, and you just slowly build. And that's from the first instant that you meet her, and you just slowly builds, and then there's each section, and each section's on a different level. And so when you're on a date, that's another level, and you'll be a little bit hotter at this stage, a little bit hotter. Now, the reason why I like indirect, and the reason why I'm trying to explain my entire philosophy, because if you don't get the entire philosophy, and I just give you a few stupid words to say out on a date, you're going to mess it up, you're going to look like a jerk, you probably shock her, and it's not really going to work out too well for you. Now, we'll go back to the very beginning. You start indirect. It's you're just talking about the environment, you're just building rapport, you're building on it, then you build a little bit more, then you build a little bit more, you build a little bit more. The direct guys, you've come in here and there's no problems. The direct guys come straight in over the top. Hey, I think you're really hot, I think you're all gorgeous, blah 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 blah. And I can understand why guys see it that way, okay? And for you guys that want to learn about the date, I'm going to get to that, but this is very important to understand the fundamentals. Guys watch pornos, right? And the girl walks into the shop or whatever, you walk into a shop and there's some girl there, she's like, oh, I'm really sweaty. You're like, oh, well, let me hose you down. I don't know, like, pornos, it's straight, it's like wham, bam, bam. The escalation phase, it's literally how a man thinks. It's, I've got an erection, let's use it. that's how a porno works, right? But women, they need to be warmed up slowly. They need to build an emotional connection with you. They need to slowly be warmed up and get used to you. They need, even if it's your girlfriend or wife and you know her really well, there's a thing called foreplay. And foreplay starts from the very first interaction that you have. Just being in front of her, the foreplay begins. So you're slowly building each phase, you see? And you're more likely to get to the final phase if you start out at the proper level when you first begin. So for instance, if you, even if your wife or girlfriend, if you're just grabbing her in the bedroom, just grabbing her, bending her over and just going for it all the time, she might start to not want to have sex with you after a while, because she wants to have a little bit of foreplay. She wants to slowly warm up. Like, give her a couple minutes, guys. We're gonna get in there, just slowly build, slowly warm up the pot. It's like the the frog in the boiling water, it starts out really warm, but if it's really hot, the frog's more likely to jump out. Your goal is to boil the frog before it jumps out. You don't just put a frog in boiling hot water, it jumps out, you don't get to boil the frog. But if you heat it slowly, you're more likely to get that frog. And that's what I'm trying to teach you guys today, is because women are like that. They need to be warmed up slowly. So this is the basic overarching philosophy, and when you understand that, then you understand how conversations can lead to sex. They don't go from hello dick pic, hello dick pic. No, they go hello, talk about conversational topics, environment. It's a little bit, little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, right? Now, how can you learn more than just from this video? What I recommend that you guys do is you try to understand, okay, well, what type of romance movies are women attracted to? They're not watching pornos, right? They're not watching guys walk in and they just take the shirt off and the girl's like ready to go within like 1 minute. There's a building phase in these romance novels. There's a building phase in these romance movies. It starts out with a spontaneous interaction, and then she builds an emotional connection over time. So let's just say that you started indirect, you're building this connection via text as well, and then you get her out on a date. So on the date, how should you play it? I would like you guys to start with taking on those objections in a romantic way to try and feed into that romance novel sort of mentality that women have, and an object, like, take away the objections before you get to them. So one thing that I think is very valuable is telling her that this isn't going very far. We're not going to sleep together tonight. This is not going to... You're taking away the objection. You're saying, look, just don't get too carried away because, it's only early on in the relationship. Breaking down the objections so she feels more comfortable. Why do you do that? Because then she's more likely to relax. And when she's relaxed and she knows there's no sexual pressure on her, like the porno, wham bam, pull it off, come on, let's go. She's like, I'm not even kind of ready for this. When you beat down the objection and you tell her that things aren't going to escalate, and you make her relaxed that things are not going to escalate, and you just simply start out really slow, just like holding her hand, touching her inner thigh, little cuddles, and things like that. And when you verbally flip the switch on her and you say things like, I think it might be a little bit too soon for us to sleep together tonight, and you can stay over at my place, but don't get any funny ideas, and I don't think that we should be moving so fast. And you say it in a playful manner. These are the conversations that actually lead to sex. I know there's a lot of guys out there saying different things. I totally disagree with the vast majority of the advice out there. I think that you should be making her feel more comfortable. Comfort and rapport, and slowly boiling the pot is the best way to boil the frog. And if she feels comfortable, she knows that as soon as she gets back to your place, you're not just going to jump on her and throw her on the bed. And she's relaxed and comfortable in your presence, and just little touches, little touch her on the lower back, grab her from the back of the head, and you squeeze the bundle of hair, and it pulls all of that hair, and it's like a massage. They feel that. And you touch her neck, just little touches on her neck, just little things like that, and continuously reminding her that I don't think it's a good idea that we sleep together. And you playfully, continuously take on that objection, so she doesn't even have to bring it up. And if she doesn't have to bring it up, she knows you're on the same wavelength, and there's a very good chance when you guys are alone, she will probably start tearing your clothes off. Once she's ready, if you've boiled the pot and you've warmed that water up nice and well and you've taken it nice and slow, especially in the early days, if you're on a date and you don't know her very well and it's early on in the early stages, if you take it that easy and you take it slow and you build the comfort, it's more likely to end really well for you. And that's why I like indirect, because right at the very beginning you're just simmering the water at the beginning, then you're taking it easy on the dates, and then when you get to the end that water's boiling and it's more likely to come out. I've put a lot of this data into spreadsheets, and from my experience, taking things indirect and taking it very slowly ends up more likely to be more success in the bedroom than rushing it early. Taking it easy in the early stages and building rapport and comfort, and slowly boiling that pot. If a guy was very direct and very touchy-feely and throwing dick pics, I would have no problem with that guy being around my girlfriend, because I know he's not going to get anywhere. But a smooth player that boils the pot, I'll be like, get the hell away from my girlfriend, because you're dangerous. Think about it that way. Which guy's more dangerous? The guy that's just full-on caveman game, or the indirect guy that's a proper player, right? Think about that. Which guy's more likely to have the success? So if you like this video, make sure you click the subscribe button, and top link in the description. Click it now, fill it out. We'll get on to some coaching, you and me, or run a boot camp. We can work on the sweet art of cold approach. I'll see you guys in the next video.